on descriptive statistics or exploratory data analysis um, on numerical descriptive statistics. So here's an example. On January 29th, 2024 through February 1st, 2024, the list prices of all residents for sale in Flagstaff was collected. This was for single-family houses, townhouses, condos, mobile homes, and manufactured homes. In addition, the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, year the house was built, price per square footage, the length of the market, original price, and list price were also taken. Suppose you're considering buying a house. So let's talk about some exploratory data analysis we can do. So first thing I need to do is load my data in. There's my housing data set. And then I would like to find the descriptive statistics of center and spread and a 5-number summary for the list prices of all residents in Flagstaff. So insert an R chunk. Since this is data, we're going to do a data function instead of a graph function. So df for data function. And this df stats is the one we want. Then I need to look at the names we have. So I'm going to click on this little arrow here to see what the various variables I have. And one of them is list price. So I'm going to use that variable. I don't have a response variable. I just have explanatory description. I don't have a response variable. I just have explanatory variables. So my explanatory variable, I don't have response variable. I'll just start with the total, and that will be list price. My data set is called housing. And I would like to find the mean, the median, the standard deviation, the range, and the variance. I would also like the 5-number summary. So let's do summary. And then we can just run it. Oh, I didn't spell list price correctly. List price should be capital list and capital price. So now, and I didn't spell variance correctly. Wow. Variance. Oh, it's var. That's fine. It's just var, not variance. There we go. All right, and so now I can see my list price. Here's my mean. Here's my median. Here's my standard deviation. My range, it goes from 85,000 to, no, 85,000 to 596,000. Then I can see my minimum, my first quartile, my median, my mean, and my third quartile. And if I go over a little bit more, I can see my max. So I get all of that. It's a little hard to see it in this format, so you might want to just do one at a time, but you can do them all in one big line. I would also like to facet now for all those things based on the residence type. So again, we're increase R, insert R, df for data function, df stats. We want to do list price. So list price is what we're working with. And we want to actually facet that by type. And one of the easiest ways to facet that is to think of the list price as your response variable, type as your explanatory variable. So I'm going to type it in this format of response variable, total explanatory variable, data equals housing. And then I'm going to do my mean, my median, my standard deviation, my variance, my summary. And I don't really need to do my range because that will come in my summary anyway. And now what I can see is I can see that it will facet it based on the different types, condos, manufactured, mobile. And I have all that information again that I needed. And you can now compare and see which ones have a higher mean, which ones have a higher median, which ones has a higher variance, which one has a higher standard deviation. So notice mobile, There's only one of them. That's why there's no standard deviation. I can also do a visualization. The best visualization we can think of is to actually graph up. You can do lots of different graphs. But we're going to do a graph of a box plot to do our visualization. In this case, you can do a density plot and facet based on the density plot and look at different things. But we're going to go and do a box plot. So we're going to do a box plot. Box plots are really only useful when we are doing them based on faceting. So I'm going to go ahead and do that as list price as being my response variable. My explanatory variable is the type, and my data is equal to housing. And then I'll probably put a title on this that says list price of Flagstaff houses. And then maybe I'll also do an XLab, and we're going to call that list price in dollars. And let's see what that graph looks like. Oh, I just noticed that that actually is my YLab because it put it as vertical. So do YLab, and maybe I'll do my XLab as resident type. Run that again. If you'd like it to have different colors, you can do that. This is known as a modified box plot. And what that means is that it just shows you the fences, but it also shows you the outliers. So it doesn't go to the max and min. It shows you all your outliers, but it shows you fences of anything outside the fence is considered an outlier. So you can see the condo, single family houses, and townhouses all have outliers, whereas manufactured and mobile don't.